You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
Earlier this week, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, along with the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Puri and LG of Delhi VK Saxena, inaugurated the PNG or piped gas connectivity to 41 urban villages of Delhi. Now, Mr. Shah also announced that out of 900 crore rupees allocated for various development works in 178 villages, which has not been utilized so far, out of that 383 crore rupees will be deployed for upgrading the civic amenities and infrastructure for these urban villages under the program Delhi Gramodaya Abhiyan. Now, it's important to understand that these villages are already an informal part of the National Capital Territory and are rapidly getting swallowed by an expanding city. While the landowners and urban village residents welcomed the promise of development work, they were left with one important question. Where is Delhi's land pooling policy, which was subsumed under Master Plan Delhi or MPD 2041? They came with the expectations of hearing some concrete announcements on it. NDTV's Suresh Krishnan caught up with these village landowners at the location of Yash Bhumi Dwarka to find out what's their biggest problem and concern right now.
देखिए मास्टर प्लान हम पिछले करीब 15-17 साल से देख रहे हैं. मास्टर प्लान आ रहा है, मास्टर प्लान आ रहा है, मास्टर प्लान आ रहा है. थक चुके हैं मास्टर प्लान के विषय में सुनते सुनते. किसको जवाब देना है, किसको नहीं देना, किस गवर्नमेंट को देना है, किसको नहीं देना, ये भी किसी को नहीं पता. दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट से पूछते हैं सेंटर गवर्नमेंट से पूछते हैं दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट.
अब जिनने एक्चुअल में भी जमीन ले रखी है ना, वो प्रोजेक्ट पूरा नहीं करेंगे.
मेरे गांव में आज के टाइम पे ज़मीनों के रेट कोड़ियों के भाव हैं. और मेरे गांव के बगल में एक बसगेड़ा गांव है जो गुड़गांव में पड़ता है. वहाँ पे 30 करोड़ रुपए पर एकड़ का रेट है. कितना डिफरेंट है, सिर्फ एक सीम का फ़र्क है. बहुत जो है हम इस लैंड पूलिंग के कारण बहुत पीछे चले गए हैं.
इन्होंने योजनाबद्ध तरीके से विकास नहीं किया, अनऑथराइज कॉलोनीज बन गई. अब उनके जो सीवरेज वगैरह का प्रबंध ये नहीं कर पाए.
What's the real cost of delay of Delhi's master plan and land pooling? We've heard some of it, but let's find out from the experts. Vardhan Bansal, co-founder Unity Group, Amit Goyal, managing director Sotheby's Realty, and Ramesh Menon, principal consultant Delhi Consortiums, are my guests on the show today. Ramesh, you've heard the villagers. They are frustrated, left wondering on why there was no mention at all of land pooling policy or when will Delhi master plan see the light of day in the Union Home Minister's address. I just want you to explain to our viewers, what is the real cost of delaying the notification of MPD 2041 for the citizens and for the city?
So two things, the Master Plan 2021 was notified way back in 2007. That did not get implemented on time. In 2018, they said, oh, we lost the time, let's bring in 2041 and implement it on time. That has not seen the light of the day. So it's a very strange, flummoxed situation where you have virtually had no planned development for 2 decades. So when you look at the cost of it, the population has increased from 1.3 crores to 2.2 crores already, and we have projections of about 3.1 crore. So where did this additional population get consumed or subsumed in? Largely in unauthorized colonies, and a very small portion in the redeveloped areas where each plot got converted into 4 dwelling units. So the cost, if you may want to kind of project, the private sector invested more than 50,000 crores of liquidity in adding raw material or land for future development, which was either in the land pooling sectors or the green development area. Now, both policies have not seen the light of the day, although they are mentioned in 2021, but the regulations thereof have not been notified. So it's a very strange situation.
And the numbers that you're mentioning are staggering. So I'm truly wondering, Amit Goyal, he mentions the green development policy, and you have actually commented on that previously as well. GDA was part of 2021 master plan, clearly did not see the light of day. DDA came out and said, we are going to implement it very soon. Then it went into the master plans. It's not really seen, nobody's seen it getting implemented. It's gone into a limbo. What do you think is the biggest harm that's caused to Delhi?
So, Manisha, it's quite unfortunate that it's taking so long. And I think, in the absence of the Master Plan Delhi 2041, where the green development area policy is also supposed to be weaved in, a lot of unauthorized construction in the Delhi is taking place, especially in the farmhouse areas. And government is also losing a lot of revenue on account of, building plan sanctions and the completion, etc. So that's not a great situation. I wish the master plan of Delhi 2041 is released and notified sooner than later, and the green development area policy is also notified.
Mr. Bansal, let me come to you. I mean, GDA was meant to create like a green buffer around Delhi. It was supposed to be low density, but green job opportunities, economic ring, as they say, which would help Delhi also with its pollution issues. You've been a developer in Delhi. I know developers in Delhi were excited about that policy, land pooling policy, but then most of them seem to have now moved on to Noida and Gurugram. What's your biggest, let's say, disappointment with the delay?
Anisha, in 2007, when the last master plan came, land policy was not existing at that time. In the year of 2013, the land policy was announced. A special cell was created in Delhi Development Authority to look after this land pooling policy. Everybody was excited that this is a right way to develop the city. Around 20,000 acre land is lying vacant since 2013 on the, expectation of this land pooling policy. What happened in the year of 2021? Government decided to immediately launch this master plan 2041. But unfortunately, there was many, to and fro between the ministry and the DDA, between this. Three things are the main portion of this master plan. One is the biggest is the land pooling policy. The concern are how it will be given back to DDA and how DDA will give back developed land to the landowner, who will develop the infrastructure, who will develop the roads and green belts and everything, and how will you relocate the land, because your land is lying in one khasra number and it can be given you the another khasra number in the same zone. Another issue in the master plan was the green development, like the farmhouse policy, which was also expected in this master plan, where you can develop 3 dwelling units per hectare. Earlier it was at 2.5 per acre. I'm sorry. Earlier it was 2.5 acre farm land policy. Right now it is 2.5 acre land policy. If you have a 2.5 acre of land, you can develop it as a farmhouse. In the new master plan, there is a provision of 3 dwelling units in 1 acre. Means that you can develop around 7 to 8 units in the existing farmhouse also. This policy is also part of the master plan, where a lot of, how to implementation way is still pending, that how much will be the width of the road, and how it will be connected to the existing.
What I'm hearing from you, Mr. Bansal, is that yes, it is a difficult proposition, but continuous dialogues have happened. Ramesh, you've been interacting with DDA, you have some sense of what's happening at the ministry. The last time we did this discussion was July last year. And I remember everyone was so excited that everything has been resolved. There are lots of, niggling issues on the land pooling policy, which have now been taken care of. Similarly with GDA. What has happened after that? I mean, it is a work in process. It's not like things cannot be changed if there are some issues later. I thought things had been resolved in terms of implementation. At least there was some consensus on how to go about it.
True that. So there's only one aspect which I need to highlight here. You see, the master plan is a guiding document for all the stakeholders, be it landowners, be it investors, developers, and policymakers. So the first things first, they should release the master plan so that the stakeholders can get together and figure out the way forward. Two, the stumbling block, as I'm taking forward from Mr. Bansal, is about the regulation. It's not that the Master Plan 2021 did not have the land pooling policy inside it or the low density residential area. What didn't follow was the regulations of how to go about. So the guiding document first, at least the stakeholders would know that a certain land in a village is reserved for this purpose. At least it can stop the unauthorized colonization. When I say unauthorized colonization, it is the smaller plots, 50 yards, 60 yards, 100 yards, which at some point in time become a thorn for the government to acquire for infrastructural purposes. We all know how UER got delayed because of the land acquisition issues. So if the government can bring out the policy, irrespective of, the fine tuning can happen. It's not, you cannot look for an ideal policy which will be acceptable to all, which does not exist.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that, look, you cannot stop a market. If you don't have a master plan, your unauthorized land dealing, sales will continue to happen. Colonies, people need a place to stay, so they will continue to, build something in an unauthorized manner with no civic amenities. Amit, am I right in understanding that you can't stop the real estate juggernaut, the housing need, and therefore you will only end up creating more and more unauthorized slums?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The more there is more delay, there are more unauthorized construction.
And are they happening? What is the, you've got the ear to the ground, what is happening? Are they as rampant as we believe, or are we blowing it up too much?
I think there is quite a lot that is happening. We see a lot of people, especially during COVID period and post the COVID period, moving into farmhouses, building those unauthorized, farmhouses, and the construction which used to be 10,000, 15,000 square feet. Now we see some farmhouses doing as high as 50, 60, 70,000 square feet in that 2 acre, 2.5 acre, even 1 acre.
And the government's losing the revenue. It
Absolutely.
could have easily got that revenue. Mr. Bansal, are you looking for land in and around Delhi? Now, what I'm hearing is that, where the Dwarka Expressway is hitting Delhi, already the Delhi side of it, the prices have gone crazy and people have already started charging huge amount and making those, or going ahead with those land deals. Is that true?
It is true that it has been changing. Dwarka Expressway is you can say, big achievement. Unfortunately, this land pooling policy is, wavering here and there from the last 4-5 years. You will be, very surprised to note that the two sectors, sector 7 and 8, were identified by DDA as a pilot sector. Even the hoardings and boards are already placed on the land that this is a land pooling area, land pooling sector, and land pooling will happen here.
Okay.
But nothing happened, and it's still yet to see the light, and still going to.
So it's all in a limbo, and I think developers like you are going towards Noida and Gurgaon. Delhi mein there's not much to be done, right? Which is a sad situation, because really there is no affordable housing for Delhiites or the right priced housing at all left. When we return, a look at what was the real intention of Master Plan Delhi 2041 and why it's critical to be notified as soon as at least elections are over. If not before that, I mean, it's difficult to actually have any news before that. Stay with us.
You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
The Delhi Master Plan or MPD 2041, land pooling policy and green development area policy are all pivotal for Delhi's vision to become a world-class city. As the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP gear up for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, the people of Delhi are left wondering what happened to MPD 2041. Despite the Supreme Court pulling up the government for the delay, that important blueprint is still in a limbo. Now let's take a quick look at what makes Delhi Master Plan critical. The MPD 2041 is a strategic and enabling framework to guide the future growth of Delhi. And we've picked this up from the Master Plan document, draft Master Plan document. Now, Delhi's population by 2041 is expected to touch 30 million or 3 crores, which is something that was mentioned before the break, from the 2.2 crores or 22 million, which is according to Census 2011. Now, according to Economic Survey of Delhi 2020, 1/3 or 30% of Delhi's population is in the age group of 15 to 30, making it one of the youngest cities of the world. So imagine how many people will need homes in the city. Significant rise in educated, working age population will make it critical to create ample job opportunities in Delhi NCT. And of course, you do need youngsters to have job opportunities. Here are the key focus areas of Master Plan 2041. One is environment, adequate green cover to address issues such as noise, water and air pollution, and can we emphasize on it enough? Mobility, to encourage shift to public transport systems for providing infrastructure for last mile connectivity. Yes, we've recently heard 2 new lines on the metro being announced, but we still need last mile connectivity and a lot more e-vehicles, public vehicles. Housing, to close the huge supply-demand gap for affordable housing and stop unauthorized and unplanned development. Not a big ask, and the delay is costing us on this front the most. Economic potential, development of clean industries and innovation economy hubs. Otherwise, guess what? Noida and Gurgaon will get it all. Heritage, to nurture and protect Delhi's cultural and heritage monuments. Yes, on that front, I must say work is happening and will continue to happen. Mr. Bansal, Gurugram and Noida, I just about touched it, but it's no longer Delhi Chalo Nara anymore amongst the young people, isn't it? Because all the jobs are going there, all the high-rises are going there and offices are going there. It's a big loss for us.
Absolutely. Now, Gurgaon is developing much better than Delhi. Noida is developing much better than Delhi. Everywhere in the world, if you see, people are residing in the outskirts of the big cities and coming to the, you can say, capital for their work. In Delhi, it is not, it is reverse actually. People are going to Gurgaon for work, people are going to Gurgaon for residing. So Delhi, everything is stuck up. The land price in Gurgaon is much higher than in Delhi because of this land pooling policy stuck up. Right. So government have to come up ASAP so that this land pooling policy should come out, and these 20,000 acres is a big amount of, you can say, quantity of land.
It's a huge amount of land. I mean, 20,000 acres, these numbers I hadn't heard. And 50,000 crores has already been invested in land transactions, as Ramesh Menon mentions. Amit, as a key stakeholder of Delhi, what is on your wish list?
So my wish list, Manisha, would be pretty similar to the other gentlemen on the program, that government should come up with the master plan of Delhi 2041 at the earliest. And it's not just about coming up with the plan, it's also about its implementation, timely implementation, a very effective implementation, all eyes on the deck, and things will evolve. I think, as Ramesh also said on the panel and Mr. Bansal as well, that there is no ideal or total 100% implementable efficient plan. So the plan is released, notified, and then all eyes, all hands on the implementation bit.
Ramesh, do you believe once elections are over, we will get the MPD 2041, or do you think, I'm talking about Lok Sabha elections, so I'm saying let's say June, or do you get the sense that we'll have to wait till February 2025 when Delhi elections are also over and the power shift happens, which is what the current government is hoping for?
Interesting points there. One, you mentioned the political will, which I think is pretty low as of today, whatever be the reason. Also could be that there are not enough subject matter experts in the body which decides. But you also mentioned jobs. We are talking about Delhi evolving into a soft industries hub, not a hard manufacturing hub. So the big industries clusters will go to Haryana or UP, wherever, and Delhi should evolve as a soft industries hub. And one small correction, the gross area available is 57,000 hectares, out of which about 20,000 hectares will be only for housing. So that should take care of the supply side only if there is a surge. And then it also keeps the market prices in the surrounding markets in check.
Right.
So it is very critical that Delhi comes out with the policy as early as possible so that soft industries, not only in land pooling areas, but also move into the GDA villages. And let's not forget the infrastructure work which has happened. Healthcare, AIMS in Bhatsa, the Sahibi river cleaning, they are all at advanced stages. Possibly the decision maker is not aware, or the left hand doesn't know what the right is doing.
All right. On that note, we're going to wrap up this discussion. Mr. Bansal, Amit Goyal, Ramesh Menon, pleasure to have you gentlemen. And we are going to actually just cross our fingers that once a new government is formed at the centre by June 2024, there's no more delay in the notification of Master Plan Delhi, land pooling, green development of the capital. Or else, the narrative of that Viksit Bharat will be very difficult to justify. Goodbye and thanks for watching.
You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby's Realty.com